We're going to talk to you about localization of music. What this term stands for, oh, my bad. This term was coined by Will Page in a recent study confirmed with IFPI and Lemonade report data. This pattern actually is about the fact that the domestic share of local music made in the local market has been on the rise in the past 10 years. If you compare the shift in 2012 was just 25%, whereas right now it's almost 75%, and the same applies to languages. Local language repertoire is on the rise in all Western markets. Whereas what happens to live music? Stadiums are sold out, but public closing. Even though Live Nation keeps saying that 2023 was the best year so far, we see that in smaller cities, small venues keep struggling. Also, there's a huge impact on the current Gen Z audience. Even before that, between 1970s and 2019, there was already a steady decline in terms of attendees of live events between 15 and 24. Then they had COVID, and for 2 years, the only way to find out about new music was through Spotify. So imagine your first gig is a stadium show. There's no intimacy. You can't build a connection with your favorite artist.
So taking this all into account, what is our solution? Well, what we propose is a subscription model where we aim to sell up to 50% of capacities through our ticket service, to our subscription service. Basically, you book the ticket 24 hours in advance and redeem at the door to ensure that all people that are going through subscriptions actually show up. We aim to match using curators to match the personality of these local artists to the grassroots venues. And then we use Spotify data through our website to match potential audiences. Then it comes to our live events. We will see collaborations among local artists, local venues, and local brands. And importantly, discovery. Local audiences get to discover new artists and new music. So let's break down the user subscription. Basically, what we offer is a tiered system where we have discounted rates for students, and then we have our regulars. Then from here, we have 100% discount on 3 shows, 50% discount on tickets for 5 shows, and then 25% discount up to 10 shows where we cap to ensure the feasibility.
For the date, yeah.
Then we have our general payout. So how is everyone getting paid? We have our venue payouts, and the figures here are based on capacities here in Barcelona. So we have you see our tiers. We then have our artist payout. From speaking with artists, it's important that we give them the flexibility to choose. So we have our first model, which is they receive 30% of ticket sales. Then our second model, where they have 15% of ticket sales and 10% bar share. And the remaining is what the platform takes.
For the data tools, we use a combination of APIs. First of all, we use the Ticketmaster API to get venues and their capacity. Then we enrich it with Songkit data to get the lineups of these venues, which allowed us to build the maps of the cities that we wanted to focus upon. Then we combined the information from ChatMagic API and the Spotify API to build in a map of artists in the local area in particular genres. And I'm going to talk about it in the next few slides. We decided to choose the local Catalan scene in terms of indie rock. And to do that, we chose 2 artists. One of them is Julia Bloom. She's an upcoming artist. She might be interesting because she has collaborated with a lot of artists in the area, but she's still small enough to be, in order to be a focus artist for the campaign. And the second artist is Sokon Bohemia. He has already done quite some gigs with many artists around the city, but it feels like it's a proper time for him to break through. In terms of their current career stage, they're both developing. But as you can see, Julia Bloom has only 4K Spotify monthly followers, whereas Sokon Bohemia has almost 65. They've all had an album release last year, and they also had a single release in the past few months that might be willing to promote. How it works, we mapped out the data. So say Julia wants to perform, clearly downtown area is a bit too hectic for her. So she wants to perform in the Gracia area, where it's more famous for hipsters, where she's going to have less pressure. For our second focus artist, we chose Sala Ratamas, especially the second hall, which has a 700 people capacity, which might be interesting for him to attend.
So what is the feasibility of the system? Well, we've seen the success stories with subscriptions already. We have the likes of ClassPass, MoviePass. We even have coffee subscriptions now. And looking to the value, who is benefiting from this? We have venues. They have a recurring income. They can build a local community and reach these collaborations. We have the audience. A part that I love, they get to discover this new music in affordable life experiences, meeting similar people with similar music tastes. And of course, the artists, they finally get to connect with their audience, showcasing their talent and building their community.
As for the next steps, clearly we understand that some venues might require progressive income channel. So we're going to introduce a credit system in this way. We're also going to have a chance to build a local network of venues, which was likely to be more attractive for brands to collaborate with them. We're going to definitely, as every other music platform, going to have a Spotify wrap at the end of the year. But also importantly, since we're based in DMAT, we're going to use the music recognition technology, which will allow us to offer a data-driven approach to determining the music style of the venue. We'd like to thank you for your attention and looking forward to your questions.
Thank you.
So many presentations today, and they ran on time. Outstanding. Any questions from the judges? Karen?
I'm curious how you guys came to the figures that you did for the artist revenue.
You mean?
Back to the slides.
I think I saw like 15%, and then there was one with the bar share. Something along those lines.
This one.
This one?
This?
Yeah. That.
Or
The
this?
next one. The models.
Yes.
This is from actually speaking with artists ourselves, because this is a tool that we want to use to help them. So there's no better way than to actually speak with artists. We spoke with several, and we've seen some artists preferred to go by ticket sales, others preferred ticket sales and bar share. For that reason, we chose, why don't we have two models and they can choose between them?
But clearly the second model is more risky, because if you happen to perform in an empty venue, you get less money out of it.
And your percentage breakdowns, how was that informed?
This is the industry standard, usually. 10% of the bar share, this is the most you can get at most venues around, I think, everywhere in Western Europe. 30% of the ticket sales is a very healthy approach.
Gotcha.
I think there's
Yeah. I think subscription revenue models are generally great, right? As you explained, a continuous recurring revenue and so on. So it's pretty solid, I think, your presentation from there. But the main challenge with subscription models typically is like, the churn, like users stop using your product after a point, and that's been the main challenge, even like outside of music industry. So how do you plan to retain your users continuously?
This is an easy way, because clearly we're going to use music recognition tools to determine the actual genre of each venue in the network. And we're going to have curators which will allow to have, like, let's say, these are the top jazz events of this weekend, which will be offered to our subscribers through newsletters or through the app if they decide to do so. So there's going to be an active curation that's going to be able to change the community. Then once you build it, people won't stop going out all of a sudden. Yes, they might stop the subscription, but they will keep thinking about it going back and back. Because you build communities, you build events around it, and this helps you avoid this dump, as you've just explained.
It's really like hitting home that community. It's like bringing back that, like going to your local. And when you like meet similar like people that are listening to similar music, you want to keep going to this. You have that community, you want to build this, and you have that curiosity. We're like showing you new artists within your area. So it's that curiosity, it's interesting. You have this friends that you're going with. So like from that point of view, we really believe this is something that will keep being sustainable for ongoing and ongoing.
Okay, yeah, thanks for sharing. Obviously, I think the community approach will definitely help you retain more. Yeah, thank you.